In life, you are told that you only get one opportunity to make the best of your life when you are in this world. You wake up every day knowing that this may be your last, and you have only one shot at making this day the best it could possibly be. You are reminded day after day by your parents, siblings, and family members that the best years of your life are your childhood. Ranging from the moment you were born to the moment you were graduated from high school. This is 18 years you get to experience the best moments of your life. Freedom, happiness, not having to deal with anything from the outside world. You may experience best moments when you and your siblings are playing that one game that you made up when you were 8 years old. Running around playing the older siblings as you grew up, loving every moment of it. As that older sibling got older, you soon start to realize they become distant. Rather, they have chores, work, school to handle first. And that time of playing that game you were playing as a kid soon becomes not every day. It becomes once a week. Then, once a month. And now, never. You ask them if you can play that game, but told by them, hey, I'm busy with schoolwork, I can't right now. And soon they're off to college. As a kid, you don't realize that your best days are behind you. And now, the moment you wanted to keep doing with your older sibling becomes a distant memory. And now realizing that you wish upon every day, every moment, that you can experience that moment one final time. As a way to say goodbye that has kept us together for so many years. Welcome to Little Gator Game. How childhood doesn't last forever. Hello niggas, welcome back. In this week's video, I'll be talking about an indie game that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, ever since I played it last year. Little Gator Game. I found out recently that this is getting a DLC, so I figured that now is the best time to talk about this adorable Gator game that speaks loudly about childhood and how time is limited, and to make the most of it while you can. This game review will be solely talking about its story and its purpose, and how the story portrays it. I will be talking about an official game review sometime in the coming months. What do the devs want the player to understand when completing the story? What they want you to interpret? So without further ado, let's dive in on Little Gator Game, the importance of moving on. As mentioned previously, we shall state the main question of every game. What is Little Gator Game? Little Gator Game focuses on a younger sibling who wants to play the game they've always played as a kid with their big sis. However, she's unable to play due to the inevitable stress and buildup of college work. Our character, who I'll be calling Little Gator, devises a plan to get their big sis to play the game they want to play. Little Gator gathers 3 of his friends, and assigns each to an item that is required to play this game: a hat, a sword, and a shield. Our 3 friends, Jill, Martin, and Avery, then go scour across the island waiting for your arrival, informing them that in order for Little Gator to gain access to these items, they must complete a quest to earn such reward. You head over to the beach and see Martin. He has you pick up a pod that acts as a shield. You text your big sis about your venture, and you went on to gather that shield, and things are looking great. You then talk to Avery for the hat and Jill for the sword. You then head over to Big Sis knowing that this will work, into wanting her to play the game with him and his friends, and then she says she can't. She's too busy with college work to spend time with her little bro. Everything starts falling apart. Your friends go off to do their own thing, and now you have no one to play with. Until Little Gator's other good friend Tom reminds the player they had scheduled a hangout, only you're at the wrong island. He then informs you that he got a bunch more people to come and play, so he scurries over to the big island to meet with Tom, as well as finding Jill, Avery, and Martin to get them back on board the game. Slowly, as you complete their quest, you can see a playground slowly being built. As you collect more and more players to play the game, the playground becomes built with a wide assortment of characters to help build that awesome game you've always played as a kid with your big sis. Which means it's finally time to ask your big sis to play. You tell these wonderful characters. You have like an astronaut, a blacksmith, and even a restaurant to check out too, hoping this is enough to entice her to play. You ask her to come check it out, not even for long, just for a minute, until she finally says the words you did not want to hear. Grown-up style. She knew what her little bro was doing for her. It's not that she doesn't want to play nor avoid him, nor not wanting to make the memories. She doesn't want to tell her younger bro it is time to move on, and that time is up. She doesn't want to make him sad, so she just says that she has a project she must work on and cannot play at the moment. Mention that she needs to focus on what's important at the moment, and that is her degree and her college work. Little Gator then heads back to his friends to tell them the sad news, and then Martin tells Little Gator that he needs to talk to her about the conversation. The one thing you don't want to give up. And that is your childhood, your memories. Little Gator did all these wonderful things, got the players, got the game, got the playground built and such, for the big sis to play. And he always says that the one rule is no adult time, it's playtime. You saw earlier from the beginning where he mentioned that, hey, whenever we're playing, you cannot mention adulthood. But eventually that does slip away, because eventually it is time to have that conversation. Little Gator doesn't know what to say to her, so he refreshes his memory about what Big Sis meant to her and what the game meant to him with the help of his friends. You journey far into the woods, looking at all the memories you made, bashing through enemies, seeing quotes that you and your Big Sis made during your hero's journey. They help Little Gator realize that Big Sis was the one who created all this. The game, the moments in time, the effects, the name, all of it. She never got to do what she wanted because all she wanted to do was spend time with her little brother, making him happy and creating those moments for him. But the exhaustion of creating the game was something that Little Gator had never considered. He was just enjoying the game since he was the main character. And then it clicks. It was about not wanting to play. It's the pressure of knowing what to do, creating the game, He has done so much for her sibling, all with the goal of making her sibling happy every single day. Little Gator's putting pressure on Big Sis when he didn't even realize in the first place. Being this big adventure person, he didn't realize that it was her big sis that had a ton of pressure because she was the one that was making the ideals for her. She was the one that said, hey, you're the hero, you're the green guy, you make these quotes, you make these mission stuff. Because whenever you go around the island, you're seeing these quotes being made by her specifically. He didn't even know it back then. Expecting this big hero adventure right away without realizing what Big Sis sacrificed to put little Gator's happiness above her own. The point of stress, exhaustion, and commitment trying to continue to come up with these things that are bigger and better than the previous time they played. The story continues with Martin's question about why they stopped playing this game. As we eventually see the skybox change to purple, blue, and black. Before, it was orange and yellow, showing creativity, energy, enthusiasm of wanting to play the game, and the fond memories he had remembered from playing the game with his big sis. Now it shows this darker tone of colors that represent mystery, change, emotional imbalance, stating how little Gator hadn't really thought of Big Sis's point of view when they stopped playing entirely. Learning through these memories that it all started when she told him that she wanted to go to computer school. They were both happy at the time, but viewing it now, that was when they started playing less and less. Like I said in the beginning, it becomes once a week, then once a month, and now it's hardly ever. They further venture along, hitting another point to where he had mentioned that one day she did not want to speak to him at all. Nothing. Martin asked for clarification, and little Gator stated that she never said no about playing, she just couldn't at the moment. They then reached the next point, and little Gator then mentioned how once she went to college, he wasn't able to see her outright. Rarely would he be able to see her, and even when she would be home, she'd be busy with something. Little Gator knew that she was doing important things, so he never wanted to distract her or pressure her into doing something when she already was exhausted enough having to deal with college work all the time, which also clashes with her own childhood thoughts. Since he had so much fun playing the game, he doesn't want to stop playing it altogether. It then all clicked, and then all snapped together. He wasn't playing the game simply because he wanted to, he was playing the game so Big Sis would play with him. He did it all for her. It wasn't about the adventure. It wasn't about the hero. It was about Big Sis. Spending that time with her was what little Gator always wanted, because it is no game without Big Sis. You need to understand that he got his friends to play the game so that his big sis would play, because he doesn't define it as a game if his sister is not playing. That's what made it special. The way that they created the moments together was where he really wanted the end. Throughout the island, you see these moments that are paused in time, because it wants you to understand that these are memories that you created. You made those moments, and you need to cherish them forever and ever and remember them for the rest of your lives, because it's not always going to be the same outcome every single time. And as you get older and older, it'll be more difficult to make those memories. But the ones that you made as a kid together for all those years in your childhood mean so much to each other. Like, even if you go up to them one day 20 years later and say, hey, remember that moment? It becomes that fond emotional memory because of how important it was to build that friendship and that relationship between you and your big sister. How important it was to play those games back when you were just a child. He finally finds the words to have that conversation, and for the third time now, we have an interaction between little Gator and Big Sis. But this time, this is different. You notice through this cutscene that leaves are blowing through the wind. This symbolizes growth, transformation, and the passing of time. It portrays how much little Gator has changed ever since they first started playing. He understands now that it wasn't about the game. It was about his big sis and what that connection means to him, how much it meant for each other, and now knowing that he uses this as an opportunity to have grown up talk he once dreaded, he has matured a lot through the story, got more grown up, and a lot of time has passed. He knows now what to say. In this conversation, they talk about college, with some kids add specs in it, like the megaphone. You can see how little Gator still has that childlike wonder in him, but matured a good amount to have an honest talk about life here. Little Gator brings up how much stress it must have been creating those ideas for the game every day for all those years, and he understands that the part of her he didn't see before. He finally said thank you for everything she has done to make it feel special to him. He knows they probably won't ever play that game again, but by saying thank you is a way to get appreciation towards something he deeply loved for so many years, and to close a chapter of their lives that they shared together for all that time during his childhood. All he asks is one final time to play the game that they have both created for so long and created so many memories. He understands that they have aged. It is time to move on. It's time to find new beginnings for one another and close this chapter of childhood and start a new one into adulthood. But it's a great way to say, hey, let's do this one more time. Let's enjoy this one last time that we are both able to be free and just play the customizable game we've always made, where we talk about this hero's journey and all these bosses, all these HP stuff that you created for me. Just give me one more and we can forever close that chapter that was once a great memory and begin the next one that could have even better ones. And the final quote by Little Gator in this conversation is the perfect way to encapsulate this entire game's meaning. You're right, I better go enjoy my youth while I still have the chance. Perfectly circulating this entire thing into the main purpose of this game. What they, developers, want to take out from this game is that your childhood does not last forever. It is limited. Don't take the moments you have with your siblings for granted, or anyone for that matter. So with the time you have, when you do those things, like play a game you always loved playing with them, enjoy it. Cherish it. You never know when it might be the last time you have this moment with your older sibling, so make sure it is the best it can possibly be, and you should make the most of your best years. And when it does come to that time to have that talk, be open, be honest, be understanding that they have these chapters must close as it is time to move on, and that's okay. It's alright. You can still make more memories of the new things, of new adulthood. It just takes a change to realize that. Big Sis never wanted to stop playing it. She's just too busy in life now to spend time playing that game. With all the pressure, she can't do it again because of how disappointing it might be to Little Gator if she doesn't succeed. And to see Little Gator all sad and disappointment, she may feel to see his appreciation means a lot for her. To have that single moment where he says, I'm happy, thank you so much for doing all these ideas for all these years, makes something feel so honest and special to her because she knew that now it was all worth it. After that interaction, we get a lot of info on Big Sis's point of view. It shows that she has had all this work because of how her professors assigned the work. Every night, there's a homework assignment. Every week, there's a quiz. 5 projects due by the end of the semester, not taking any late work. You miss one, you're cooked. That already is a lot on the shoulder to get through, and not to mention the stress and the pressure to each student individually. Big Sis asks a question about working engine, and the professor goes to the yearly work. Practical work is next year if you can make it through. With Little Gator shown in the background. Throughout this scene you can see green, orange, red, and brown leaves blowing in the wind. The recurring imagery of the leaves really emphasize the idea that this is a new season both for their lives. How Big Sis is starting to grow up and free time becomes less and less as you age. And the professor says that you will have to transfer schools as the program she's looking for is available elsewhere. It isn't available here, so the professor suggests that it's better to go file an application now before she has less of a chance to make it through another program. And that hurts because she loved that school. It meant so much to her. It was what she wanted, so having to transfer her both mentally, physically, and emotionally, impacting both her and Little Gator since she stopped playing with them outright. They were both excited to go to this computer school. This is what she always wanted, she's always what dreamed of. And now, not being able to finish her story is something that hurts her so much. But it wasn't her fault. She felt so sad not being able to stay at that school because that is what she wanted. Then Little Gator, like a real little baby mode one, shows up saying how he thought it was already a real game. Big Sis wanted legendary hero status. She states her purpose of the game. I want to make something that everyone can play, something they'll love, and when I'm done, we can play together. What Big Sis wanted was to have the game be played by everybody. She wanted the hero to have the quest given by other players and make it feel more alive. She felt as if she has done everything they could possibly do together and now needs more people to push the game what she truly wanted. And after all that, she finally said is that she has earned a break and finally got up and started walking over to the playground to join their game as the witch brewing ups potions in her lonely cottage. The main theme of this game was childhood. It tells you to enjoy it while it lasts because soon enough you're off to college, you're off to work 5 days a week, and that free time you once had becomes slim to none at all. Your time is limited. You only get one opportunity to enjoy what you can with your siblings before they go off to work, college. Life is short. They want you to ensure that you leave time for your siblings, and when it is time to end that chapter, that you cannot let go, cannot grasp that it is the end. It's going to be okay. It's going to be alright. Not everything can last forever, and all good things must come to an end. Be appreciative of the time you have and make sure you use the most of it before it becomes a memory. Frozen in time. Thank you all for—
Before we finish the video, I'd like to interrupt Dylan, or as you call him, Ninja Dills. I know Dylan differently, and I've had the privilege of seeing him grow and change from the time he was born until now. My name is Jada, I'm Dylan's older sister. I edit a good chunk of his scripts and give him advice on videos, and I'm proud to say that I was his first subscriber. Dylan asked me to edit the script, he called it his magnum opus, but in all honesty, each new video in my eyes is his magnum opus, because the growth that I see in each new video, where he learns something different, whether it be the thumbnail, voiceover, writing style, I could go on and on, really. Dylan and I talk about making collab videos every now and again, but I just had to jump into this one outside of the writing process. because this topic hits very close to home. I haven't played this game, but I'd like to after reading, because the big sis character is me. I see myself in her. And little Gator? That's Dylan, alright. I won't go into much detail about our childhood, but everything Dylan wrote about these characters is not only a lesson to be learned, but one that we and many other siblings have lived. And especially one that we really haven't had the chance to have that grown-up conversation about. I moved out really suddenly from our parents' house for a lot of different reasons that I won't get into right now, and that was the trigger to start our own hero's journey. I live independently. I have my own car and a job that I love that I worked really hard for. But that all came after I moved out, and the change was immediate. The first few months and even the first few years of me moving out were really difficult on our family, and sometimes still can be. I wasn't home all the time to play video games or edit a script whenever Dylan needed it. I wasn't there to make eggs in the morning for all my siblings when they asked for some after seeing me make mine. Our family Minecraft world became much like a well-loved old book, covered in dust but with page markers still in it, indicating that it was once a treasured moment in someone's life. But it still is. The moment doesn't stop becoming treasured just because it's over. It doesn't erase itself from your memory just because you decided to read a new story. I find myself having trouble finding the time to edit every script for Dylan's videos. I live a very work-heavy life on top of working towards healing my mental health struggles. But as the oldest sister of not just Dylan, but 2 other incredible siblings, it's hard not to feel guilty because I left, because I had to move on and sacrifice time with the 3 most important people in my life, because I had to move on and sacrifice time with the 3 most important people in my life to put myself first for once. However, 2 years post-move out, Dylan is now in college and can experience some of what I felt moving for himself. Now when the family is all home, the few hours we spend together become so special. It's something to look forward to, something to put on the calendar, but it's something you also have to work for as well. You have to carve that time out of your busy schedule, whether it be work or college, to come home and relive that childlike wonder in new ways. You have to carve that time out of your busy schedule, whether it be work or college, to come home and relive that childlike wonder, and ultimately strengthens the bond we share. Distance and time mean nothing if we have each other. To Dylan, I am endlessly proud of you for what you've accomplished, and I'll never get tired of watching you grow. I love you, little Gator. Okay. Enough getting sappy. I'll let Dylan finish the video.
Thank you all for watching. I'll be doing the video. I originally planned to make this a game review and go over the open world aspect, the items, the hats, the throwables, NPCs, and their quests, but the story was long enough to be its own individual video. In the coming months, I will return to this game to talk about the items and quests in its own video, and I will indefinitely make an actual game review about this game because of how much fun it is and how much it means to me. It's just that for now, okay, you're gonna get this video, alright? But what I can confirm is that next week's video will return to this fun Gator game since it has a DLC released. It actually came out yesterday. I'm actually making this video on Wednesday, so for you guys it just came out. For me, it hasn't actually. I'm gonna play it and an actual review will actually come out, barring lessons learned in the DLC. If I gotta make another 20-minute video, bro. This game means a ton to me because it shows me that my childhood is important. The things I did are now a memory, and it means a lot to myself and to others. The moments I make with my siblings are only possible by do them. It can remind you that you aren't able to keep this thing forever, and soon you will need to accept that it's time to move on, and that's okay. The game has a ton of meaning, symbolism, theming, and storytelling that you can connect with the audience in every way possible. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to me more videos. Hit the bell so you get notified when I go live and upload. All credit goes to Mega Wobble and Playtonic for creating this awesome game. Credits will be in the end screen and links in the top of the description. Thank you for watching. This is Ninja signing out. Peace!